Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to NTV's Authors Series. Today we have a author from Niagara Falls. His name is Wayne Mallows, and he's written a book called Whitechapel Road. Welcome to NTV.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you here.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Good. Well, so I guess you could just tell me a little bit about the book in respects to what inspired you, possibly.
The inspiration goes way back. I guess it goes back to when I was a kid. I always liked vampires. All the cool superheroes were taken by the cool kids, and I wasn't a cool kid. So, I found the vampires. I guess it was in Interview with the Vampire found me, as it were. So that's where it came from. I'd created a character for a play I was in, just sort of an informal, fun little thing. But it kind of grew from there. It's just I wanted to be very believable.
Did you find all through your own life as a human being, or someone relevant in your society? Did you always find your way into the macabre aspects of life, as opposed to the mainstream that were going this way, and you were just sort of saying, "Well, I've got to take this route"?
Yeah, I don't think it was like I have to take this route. I said, the route kind of found me. It was just an easier way to go. I loved a hearse, and I bought a hearse when I was a younger guy, and I've always had one in the family for a long time, so that sort of thing. If that's what you mean. That's where I went with it.
And I know you have how many hearses now?
Two now.
Two hearses.
Yeah. They're getting it's getting silly. Running out of room to park them.
Publishing, today, when it comes to modern publishing, is this something that you had to go out and have somebody look at, or you just did it right on your own?
No, I after I'd finished it, I'd approached a number of publishers. That was an education. I mean, a lot of them were great. I mean, everyone, a lot of them wrote back to me and told me, great story, not what we're looking for, a little too complicated for our readers. I'm thinking, I'm not a complicated guy. Okay, but at least they got back to me. Mm-hmm. And I finished that meeting the woman who owns or runs Sky Castle Publishing. And she was very interested. And it was more of a self-published book, but with a lot of guidance. They were hugely helpful.
What would your base readers be? Like, is this geared towards young people, old people, or is
No. This book is more towards an adult read. I did a lot of research on the history aspect of it, so it's. I mean, I'm not saying a teenager wouldn't enjoy it, but there's not a whole lot of romance, and there's not a whole lot of young people sort of in it. The people that are in it are sort of in their 20s, 30s, and higher.
Mm-hmm. Again, did you, when it comes to doing the research, you did most of your research online?
I did a lot of it online, and I found a gentleman in England who actually lives there who was able to, some of the areas that I couldn't find it. I was lacking. I couldn't find it in a book. I couldn't find it online. I was able to, hook up with this fellow over the internet through email, and he helped me fill in some of the shortcomings.
Mm-hmm. I've even had a few of those enchanted moments, like I mentioned before, where when I lived in England, I went down to Whitechapel just to smell the air,
right?
Just in case something would knock me over the head and say,
this is what happened.
You're in the right area.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell your readers about the book, and to get them to say, hey, this is something that I think I should read? What type of info what would they get from this when they're finished?
Without giving it away, it's a very different read. It is a vampire book, but what I did was I dispelled with a lot of the old cliche stuff. There's no coffins. There's no endless supply of Transylvania money. This is just a regular person who finished up being at the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up in extraordinary circumstances. And then the history ties in well with it. So people that are into history will enjoy this. People who are into vampires will enjoy this.
And now I know when you mentioned you have hearse, and do you also have a vein of understanding in our contemporary society about the Gothic and the trend of macabre?
Yeah. It's so wide. I mean, to say that I'm an expert on any of that stuff would be, wrong. I mean, everyone's got their own thing. I mean, look, here I am, right? So, I love the clothing. I dress the part whenever I can, wherever society will allow me to dress the part. I do. Love Halloween. Dress the place up for Halloween. Do theatrical makeup, things like that. It's enjoyable.
And I know you have a bed breakfast right here in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And do you offer that same sort of avenue? Like, do you got a dungeon that you can offer to people? Or?
Not yet. Not yet. We're going there. We hopefully, as the years unfold, we're going to do a more Halloween-y kind of thing on October. Dress the place up a little bit darker and tell ghost stories and things like that. That's what we want to go for 1 or 2 months of the year.
Now, when it comes to releasing a book like this, I'm not sure. Have you had a book launch yet, or an author's sort of?
No. It's only been out for a week and 3 days actually. Nice. So it's just making the rounds now. The reception is really good. I'm really pleased with how many people have emailed me and messaged me on Facebook and saying they're enjoying it, and it's really different.
So exciting. This is available online right now, is it?
It is available online right now.
So how does one get to that? And
you can go to my webpage is it just fell down this morning, but you can go to Etsy. Etsy's an online store, Etsy.com, and look up my name, Wayne Mallows at Etsy.com, and you can order it right online through PayPal or check.
And what's your book cost?
It's retailing for $24.95.
$24.95.
Yep.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit more about you.
Sure.
And what's driving you now, and where if this is your first book, and I believe
my first real book.
First real book.
Yeah.
And you're probably working on realer books.
This is a trilogy. So the second one. It's in the rough stage. I could say it's done, but it's not finalized. I'm looking at between 12 and 18 months before it's out. Publishers are saying they want it about 24 months, so we're in the right ballpark. And then the third one comes out about a year after that.
Are they all in the same vein?
Oh yes, the same vein, very much so. Same characters. We move around the timeline a little bit. We jump forward, we jump back to sort of fill in the gaps.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for coming in and joining us here on NTV, and congratulations with your book.
Thank you so much.
And all the best to you as an author and artist.
Thank you. Appreciate that.